Forbidden Night from Hermione perspective. 1. The boundaries of friendship. The flames in the Gryffindor common room fireplace dance hypnotically, casting flickering shadows on the stone walls. The castle was silent in the late hours of the night. Most students were already in bed, but the three of us remained. Ron stretched out in his chair, looking thoroughly pleased with himself. "I've missed this," he sighed. I smiled. Missed what exactly? This, he gestured around lazily. Like old times. No books, no stress, no essays on transfiguration that you forced me to write. Harry smirked. Let's be honest, Ron. You never cared about those essays in the first place. Ron rolled his eyes. Exactly. Which is why we need something more exciting. Harry raised an eyebrow. What kind of exciting? Ron leaned forward, his blue eyes glinting mischievously. Let's go out. A little night adventure. I hesitated. But, Ron grinned, come on, Hermione. Don't tell me you're that boring. It wasn't the best argument, but something in his voice, in the way Harry glanced at me with amusement in his green eyes, made me say yes. And so, we went. 2. The Prefects Bathroom. We wandered through the dimly lit corridors of Hogwarts, avoiding Filch and sneaking past nearly headless Nick, until we found ourselves standing in front of the Prefects Bathroom. Ron let out a low whistle. I've heard about this place. Never actually been inside. Harry smirked. It's way better than our showers, trust me. Ron turned to me, an almost daring look in his eyes. What if we took a bath? He suggested casually. My heart skipped a beat. What? Ron shrugged. It's just a bath. Nothing weird, just warm water, loads of bubbles, and a chance to actually relax for once. Harry looked at me, his expression unreadable but expectant. You don't have to if you don't want to. That was the problem. I did want to. Maybe more than I should. Before I could overthink it, Ron was already pulling off his robe. Harry followed suit, and my breath caught as I caught glimpses of bare skin in the flickering candlelight. Heat crept up my neck. Ron turned to me, grinning. Come on, Hermione. No need to be shy. With a deep breath, I undid the clasp of my robe, letting it fall to the floor. 3. Crossing the line. The warm water wrapped around my body like silk, scented with lavender and jasmine. Bubbles floated lazily on the surface, reflecting the soft glow of candlelight. I sat between them, feeling their presence so acutely it was almost overwhelming. Under the water, Ron's hand skimmed lightly over my thigh. It wasn't accidental. Relax, he murmured. Harry shifted beside me, his gaze lingering. The tension in the air was palpable. This is different, I admitted. Ron smirked. But you like it, don't you? I didn't know how to answer. And then Ron did something I didn't expect. He kissed me. I should have pulled away, but I didn't. Instead, I leaned into him, his lips firm, warm, his touch feather-light as he pulled me closer. When we finally parted, I turned and Harry was watching us. But there was no jealousy in his eyes, only something else. Before I could think twice, he leaned in, and then his lips were on mine. It was different than Ron, slower, softer, but just as intoxicating. His fingers traced a path down my back, while Ron's hand still rested on my waist beneath the water. There was no hesitation anymore. No boundaries left between us. The water sloshed gently around us as hands wandered, lips met, and our bodies moved instinctively closer. My breath hitched as fingers skimmed over bare skin, the warm water making everything slick, weightless, electric. There was nowhere to run, and I didn't want to. 4. The morning after. I didn't know how long we stayed in the water. Minutes? Hours? By the time we finally climbed out, the air was thick with something unspoken. Wrapped in towels, we exchanged looks that said more than words ever could. Harry reached out, brushing a strand of wet hair from my face, his touch lingering. Ron let out a breathless chuckle, rubbing the back of his neck. Well, that was interesting. I swallowed. Everything had changed. Ron smirked. So, do we ignore this? Or do we talk about it? Harry laughed, glancing at me. What do you think, Hermione? I didn't have an answer. So instead, I simply pressed a finger against Harry's lips, smiling softly as I turned toward the door. For now, let's just keep it to ourselves. Whatever this was. And for tonight, that was enough. The end. Like this? Want more? Let me know.